a shit. I don't want to hear it. Asia, Cameron, or Cheryl Swift. Nobody knew that. Nobody knew they wore 22. Stop that. The fact that Clark and Wilson were on the same 2025 WNBA All-Star team caught the attention, if only because there was some question about a shared number and how it would be handled. Ultimately, it didn't matter because Clark was out, of course, with the groin injury.
Something major has reportedly surfaced from inside the Team USA training camp. And if even a portion of these claims are accurate, USA Basketball may have committed one of the most damaging public relations blunders women's basketball has seen in years. Multiple sources suggest the organization is now quietly second-guessing a move that sent shockwaves through the sports world, forcing Caitlin Clark, arguably the most influential, marketable, and culturally significant figure in the women's game, to surrender her iconic jersey number 22. This wasn't a suggestion or a mutual decision. It wasn't up for discussion. It was imposed. And the backlash has already grown far beyond what anyone inside the program anticipated. When the official roster for the December Team USA training camp dropped, fans initially felt excitement, not controversy. After the highly criticized Olympic exclusion earlier this year, supporters were eager to finally see Caitlin Clark in a USA uniform, wearing the red, white, and blue, stepping into what many believe is her inevitable role as the future centerpiece of USA basketball. But that excitement vanished almost instantly. As fans scanned the roster more closely, something felt off. Listed next to Clark's name was a jersey number, but not the one the world knows her for. Instead of her legendary 22, Team USA assigned her number 17. Within moments, social media exploded. To understand why this struck such a nerve, you have to understand what number 22 represents. It's not just a jersey, it's a global symbol. Number 22 is inseparable from Caitlin Clark's identity. It's the number she wore during her record-breaking career at Iowa. It's the number she had on her back when she surpassed Pete Maravich's long-standing scoring record. It's the number she wore while leading Iowa to consecutive national championship appearances. It's the same number she wears with the Indiana Fever as she shatters attendance records and turns every arena into a sellout. The number 22 is branding, legacy, and recognition rolled into one, and Team USA treated it as if it didn't matter. What made fans even angrier is the fact that no one else at the training camp is wearing 22. The number isn't taken. It isn't reserved for a veteran. It isn't tied up due to seniority, protocol, or any technical restriction. Aya Wilson, the one player most associated with number 22 on Team USA, is not even attending this camp. There is no conflict, no rule, no logistical explanation. The number is available, untouched, and unused. Yet Clark was still required to switch to 17. To fans, this doesn't look accidental. It looks deliberate, and that's where the optics collapse completely. This is the same organization that left Caitlin Clark off the Olympic roster earlier in the year, a move that triggered global criticism and raised serious questions about whether USA basketball leadership truly grasped the cultural shift happening within the sport. At the time, the justification centered on experience, continuity, and chemistry. Many fans didn't accept that explanation then, and after this latest controversy, they're even less convinced now. If Team USA genuinely wanted to rebuild trust and show respect for Clark's impact, allowing her to keep her iconic number would have been the simplest and most obvious step. Instead, they reignited another firestorm. Sponsors noticed immediately, and this is where the situation grows even larger. Major brands like Nike, State Farm, and Gatorade have invested millions into building Caitlin Clark's image around number 22. Advertisements, merchandise, campaigns, and endorsements are all tied to that identity. Removing that number, even temporarily, disrupts an entire marketing ecosystem. Fans don't just associate Clark with excellence, they associate her with 22. Parents buy their kids' number 22 jerseys. Young players write 22 on their shoes before games. That emotional connection is powerful, and emotional branding is the most valuable branding there is. By stripping that away, Team USA didn't just affect Clark, they impacted fans, sponsors, and future revenue streams. Merchandise sales matter here, whether people want to admit it or not. Team USA had a massive opportunity to release Caitlin Clark Team USA number 22 jerseys, items that could have shattered every sales record in women's basketball history. But a number 17 jersey doesn't carry that weight. It isn't iconic. It isn't symbolic. It's confusing. Fans don't want a Clark 17 jersey. They want her number. In one move, Team USA potentially fumbled a historic financial opportunity. Yet the biggest issue goes beyond money. It's about the message being sent. Many fans interpret this decision as an attempt to humble Clark, to diminish her influence, or to remind her that no individual is bigger than the program. The problem is that, whether they like it or not, Caitlin Clark is bigger than the program right now. She's bigger than the league, bigger than the NCAA. She is a cultural force who has pulled millions of new fans into women's basketball, fans who weren't watching before she arrived. Disrespecting her feels like disrespecting the entire movement she created. According to insiders, Team USA did not anticipate this level of backlash. They reportedly believed the jersey number change would go unnoticed or spark only minimal discussion. Instead, their social media accounts have been flooded, announcements are getting ratioed, and comment sections are overwhelmed with criticism. Behind closed doors, sources claim there's growing acknowledgement that they underestimated the significance of the decision. They didn't think the number would become the story, but it did, because they touched something fans consider sacred. As this situation continues to unfold, one thing is becoming undeniable. Team USA didn't just misjudge Caitlin Clark's popularity. They fundamentally misunderstood the magnitude of the movement she represents. This isn't an era where jersey numbers are trivial details. This is 2025. Branding, identity, and cultural influence define modern sports, and Caitlin Clark is the face of women's basketball. She is the driving force behind shattered attendance records, soaring television ratings, and merchandise that sells out almost instantly. Arenas that once struggled to fill seats now require resale tickets costing hundreds just to get inside. Her presence alone transforms ordinary games into must-see events. When she enters a gym, it feels like a national moment. When she posts online, engagement explodes. When she speaks, the entire basketball landscape pays attention. And when Team USA shows even the slightest hint of disrespect toward her, intentional or not, fans react with immediate fury. What makes this situation especially humiliating for Team USA is how easily it could have been avoided. No one backed them into this decision. There was no official rule forcing Caitlin Clark to change her number. No veteran blocked her path. No prior obligation stood in the way. The number 22 was available, and used, untouched, sitting right there. Yet Team USA still made a deliberate choice to assign her a different jersey. A number with no legacy. No emotional weight. No connection to who she is. A number that feels more like a requirement than a tribute. That's where the disconnect becomes impossible to ignore. It also raises uncomfortable questions about what's happening behind the scenes. While many players openly respect Caitlin's meteoric rise, professional sports have never been immune to ego, envy, or insecurity. Some veterans quietly feel eclipsed by the attention surrounding her. Some are frustrated that every camera, every headline, and every question gravitates toward one player. Others struggle with the reality that a rookie, no matter how extraordinary, has become the face of the sport after they spent years grinding in relative anonymity. In that context, Team USA's decision doesn't feel neutral. It feels political. It feels like ego management. It feels like subtle resistance. And it feels like a quiet refusal to fully elevate Caitlin to the level fans already believe she has earned. But trying to limit her influence only has the opposite effect. Every snub, every controversy, every questionable call fuels her momentum. Fans grow louder. Storylines intensify. Media coverage expands. Caitlin Clark becomes even more central to the identity of the sport. That's exactly what's happening now. Team USA treated the jersey number change as a minor detail, but in doing so, they turned it into a nationwide debate. Sports shows are dissecting it. Social media is arguing over it. Fans are choosing sides. Journalists are digging deeper into why USA Basketball keeps mishandling its most important relationship. And the real challenge for Team USA is what comes next. When the December camp begins, cameras will be everywhere. Reporters will ask uncomfortable questions. Teammates will be pressed for reactions. And Caitlin herself will be asked directly whether she was okay with the number change. She's polished, professional, and media savvy. She won't complain. She'll express gratitude. She'll say she's focused on the team. That's who she is. But fans will read between the lines, as they always do. Every facial expression, every pause, every tone shift will be analyzed, and the narrative will only continue to grow. No matter how Team USA responds now, they can't undo the fact that they mishandled something incredibly simple. The irony is that this could have been a massive win. Imagine the headlines if she had kept number 22. Imagine the fan celebration. Imagine the jersey sales. Imagine the goodwill. Imagine the message it would have sent. We recognize the future, we embrace the moment, and we support the star who is lifting the entire sport. Instead, the message fans received was the opposite, that bureaucracy matters more than common sense, rules outweigh identity, and branding and connection come second. Now, behind closed doors, Team USA is scrambling to manage a backlash they created themselves. The truth is clear. Caitlin Clark isn't just another player. She represents a movement. She is the most valuable asset USA Basketball has had in decades. Forcing her into number 17 wasn't just a poor decision, it became a symbol of how disconnected the old system still is from the modern era of women's basketball. And the regret inside the organization is real. They assumed fans wouldn't care. Instead, they roared. They expected the story to fade. Instead, they grew. They believed the number was insignificant. Instead, they learned the defining lesson of this era. When it comes to Caitlin Clark, every detail matters, because even the smallest decision can shake the entire basketball world.